Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan, and you can find more details about us in the description of this video, including our Facebook page and our online store. So in this video I'm going to be looking at the Super Saiyan Brolly Ichiban Kuji figure, and this is definitely an awesome figure. It's what I call the wow factor, which is one of those figures that really one of those Japanese quality figures that just makes you go wow. It's a terrific figure, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So firstly, let's actually have a look at the box quickly. So this is what the box looks like. So you'll see that this actually was part of the Dragon Ball Kai release of figures. So I think that was 2009. There were a lot of figures that came out in 2009, and you can see there it says last one. Sure. Now there's a reason why it's called last one, and I've made a separate video explaining that, because there are a lot of last one figures which I know confuses people. So watch that video if you want to know why it says last one. Some pretty cool box art on the side. Usually we don't get really cool box art for the Ichiban Kuji, so that's quite nice. And then the back of the figure clearly showing what it actually looks like, and it should say somewhere here that it is for use as prize in Japan only. So 2011. So actually I realized this was part of the Saikyo no Raiburu series, which I think was the Goku and Frieza series, quite possibly. So yeah, really cool looking box. And let's now have a look at the figure itself. Now the figure itself comes in one piece. So usually you kind of have to assemble the head or something, but it actually comes as one complete piece. You can't detach it from the base. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can't. The height is about 25 centimeters, thereabouts, 26 centimeters. So it is bigger than a standard figure. So just as a comparison, you can see there is a pretty large difference in the size of it. So let's have a nice close-up look of the figure. Now I'm not sure how clear it is on the video, but I really love the color that they chose here, because it's not a real fluoro yellow. It does have a green, it's like a yellowish green tinge, which is exactly I think how Brolly should look. So I really think they chose a really nice color variation with that, and I really like the fact that they didn't put the pupils in the eyes of Brolly, and that really gives you that awesome Brolly effect. So that looks really cool. And then what I really like actually is these sort of clear blue jewels. They look really good, and he has a few of those throughout the figure, so on his arms as well, and on the feet pieces as well. So they look really fantastic. And the gold paint that they've used as well for his bands and belt and thing also look very impressive. Again, I'm not sure how well this comes out on the video, but it just looks like a really high quality shiny gold. So very impressive to see that. And then one of the best parts about the figure is just the muscles. The mold of the muscles just look fantastic, and there's some really nice shading in here as well, just to create those effects. You can really see the back particularly as well. It looks really impressive, and the base as well also looks really nice. Very rocky. Looks like he's, you know, powering up, and it's just sort of destroyed all of the area around him just by powering up. So really nice. You can see the feet really sort of embedded into the rock. Just really creates a nice effect. So I really don't have much to say bad about this figure. I mean, it really is just a fantastic figure. If I really had to try and think of something to say with this figure, you will notice that they actually don't have any sort of nipples on the body. I think in recent figures they do that, but certainly in the older ones they don't. And I actually mentioned that with my review of this figure. You'll notice also that there is no sort of nipple shown for realism, but for some of the newer figures they do actually show it. So just as an example here, the Goku from S Cultures 5, you can see that they do actually put that detail in. So I'm interested what you guys think, whether they should include it or not. They have done it in some figures and not done it with others. The other thing possibly is the fact that the Brolly doesn't really have any energy effects like this one. So I guess you could say that that's something they could have done, but the problem with these energy effects is they do tend to droop over time. So this actually should be, you know, it sort of should look like that. But over time, these bits of plastic do tend to droop. I am currently filming this in summer, so it, you know, when it's hot, they do tend to droop a bit more. But it doesn't quite have the same effect, I think, as when it sort of looks like that. I think it looks better like that. Now with this figure it's not too bad because, you know, he's not that tall, but I think if you had that happening with a figure of this size and you just kind of had these energy waves just sort of barely passing his knee, it probably wouldn't look that good. So I think it is kind of good actually that they didn't include it. The other way they could have done that is do it like the Figure Arts figures, where they actually have a hole in the figure and put the energy piece, you know, on the figure. But I personally don't really like that either. So I think it's fine that they haven't done that with this figure and just left the energy effects out. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think. Now this is a very expensive figure. It's one of the most expensive figures we sell. It's certainly one of the most collectible figures in Japan. Is it worth the cost? I would say if you're a Brolly fan, absolutely. I think it is the best Brolly figure that's been made. If you're not a big Brolly fan, then it probably isn't, to be honest. It is a very expensive figure if you're just sort of going to check the box and just collect it for collector's sake. But if you are a Brolly fan and you like Brolly, then this is definitely a great figure to get. Now, there were actually two versions of this figure. There is also a double chance Ichiban Kuji. Only 100 of them were made. It basically looks the same as this, except it's sort of a shinier version. Very, very rare figure. You're easily looking at, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get that one, and it's pretty much the same figure. But just to let you know, there are actually two versions of this figure, but even the standard one is quite expensive and rare. If it is out of your price range, the other Brolly figures that have been released are the WCF Mega, the World Collectible Figure Mega, which probably looks similar to this. It's probably about less than a fifth of the cost, but then again, it's not the same quality. But if you want a Brolly figure and you're on a tight budget, that's probably one of the better ones to get. There was also a Muscle Mania Brolly that was released many years ago, the HQ DX, the High Quality Deluxe, and of course the S Cultures Series 7, which came out recently, but that was the sort of non-Super Saiyan Brolly. That was like the sort of very green hair version, which, you know, you may or may not like. But as I said, this is definitely the best one, I think, but the most expensive. If you are interested in any of the others, feel free to get in touch with us via the details in this description. So thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to know what you think of this figure. Maybe you have it in your own collection. Hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.